Letter of Gratitude. Attention! For this video, I want you 100% focus, so that you will get the most out of this video. Do not distract yourself while watching it. Welcome to Mind Mentor. Today, we talk about letters of gratitude. Before we talk about the letters of gratitude, I will commend you to watch my video titled How to Have a Positive Mindset. There I discuss gratitude journaling, because the gratitude journal is like a step you do before writing a letter of gratitude. And first, we discuss what is a letter and what is gratitude, or better said, gratefulness. Well, a letter is a piece of paper you write on. That is for a person or a company. So, the simple mail all of us have already written in our life. Or did it more digital, with an email. Just that in form of a gratitude letter, it is not online, but with pen and paper. Just like the gratitude journal. And gratitude or gratefulness is thinking and feeling gratitude towards the person who, for example, gave you a piece of cake when you had birthday. There you were grateful for that gesture or for that gift that this person gave you. But now, why should we write a letter of gratitude? Well, this is a good question. The letter of gratitude will help us to feel grateful for a person and show them the appreciation that they deserve. Because there are studies that show that if we write a letter of gratitude, we have a significant increase in happiness and mental health. There are even studies that show that giving out money for yourself in comparison with giving out money for other person, giving out money for the other person will give you more happiness than if you would spend that money on yourself. And it doesn't even have to be a big amount of money. Things like a small coffee, a croissant, or even just a little thing to eat will already increase your happiness much higher than if you would have spent that money on yourself. There are also studies that show that your mental health becomes better for 4 to 12 weeks if you do a letter of gratitude, which is already a huge positive if you consider that you would have to just write one letter every 3 months so that your mental health still gets the boost. But what is even more interesting is that there is a study that has measured the brainwaves of participants that wrote a letter of gratitude. And those participants had an increase of happiness for 7 months. Just by one letter that they wrote, their happiness rose and stayed consistently up for 7 months before dropping back to the normal levels. And this is truly magnificent, that as simple as the letter can be, it can boost our mental health for 1 to 3 months and our happiness for 7 months. This is something everybody should take advantage of and use it to improve their own mental health and overall happiness. So now we get to how to write a letter of gratitude. Well, first you have to choose a person that you are grateful for. A family member, a friend, a co-worker, or even a random person on the street. And maybe you find it a bit hard to write a letter of gratitude for a person for your first letter of gratitude. You can also choose a pet. This can make the letter easier, especially because the pet will never read the letter. Even if you can read it out loud for your pet, if you want to, then you write it just like a letter. Dear blank. And then you write in everything and why you're grateful for this person or pet. And how grateful you are for all the things they do for you. Maybe even sacrifices they took for you. And that you're grateful to have them in your life. In the beginning, it may be hard to find a starting point. But as soon as you sit down and write this letter of gratitude, you get more and more ideas for what you are grateful for that this person or pet does. Then, one little detail. I did not talk about this, but only about 20% gave the letter to the person it belongs to, or even read it out loud to the person. So even if you right now are not sure if you want to give the letter to the person, you can still write the letter and keep it. And still, all the benefits mentioned earlier about the boost of mental health and happiness will be applied, because I know that it is uncomfortable to give such a letter to the person. And you may never give it to the person. But I can tell you, this person would love to receive such a letter from you. And you will share happiness and appreciation to the other person. I myself wrote one letter, and I am about to write my second letter. And I have to admit, it was not easy to write this first letter, because you think to yourself, how and what about should you write it? But if you once start with it, you will get into a flow state and you will write without doubting yourself. While writing this letter, I really felt how much this person means to me. And you will see it yourself that you will get real huge positive emotions about this person and learn to truly appreciate them with all the beauty and also mistakes they made. And I'm honest and must say that I did not give the letter to the person that the letter was for. But I will give it to the person because remember, no man ever grew with comfort. A man grows as soon as he is in discomfort. And also for me, it was not easy to write this letter, because you think to yourself, how should I write it and what should I mention? But those are important questions, because thanks to those questions, you think and start to acknowledge everything the other person does for you. And one more thing, this letter has to be made with pen and paper. Because first, the letter will become more personal, even if you don't have good handwriting. Still, write it yourself with pen and paper. I did it too, and people say, with my handwriting, I should become a doctor. And when you do it with a pen and paper, you will think more about what you want to write about, because you write slower than you will type it on the PC. And so the letter will have a more personalized thought with it. So, to conclude everything, a letter of gratitude is when you write a letter about a person or pet, in which you write down how grateful you are for them and all the sacrifices they make for you, and that you are truly happy to have them in your life. You write this letter with a pen and paper to make it more personal, and depending on how you choose, you can give it to the person or keep it to yourself and still get the boost in mental health and happiness. I recommend you to give the letter to share happiness and appreciation with the person you love. Now, I myself have to go and give the first letter I wrote to my mother. And next week, you will get the next step. I am Mind Mentor, and I am content to bring and help you for this journey. I will upload one video a week on Saturday, so you have enough time to get used to every step you will take. Until then, make your family, God, or yourself proud.